Let's look at how we can embed safeguarding procedures in our organisation. And essentially this is about getting staff on board, getting them committed to safeguarding, and getting them to understand the importance of safeguarding. So the following steps are things that we can do to fully embed safeguarding procedures in the organisation. For example, include safeguarding training as part of the induction of all new staff and volunteers. Second, provide regular up-to-date safeguarding training for all staff. Third, provide training on the organisation's own safeguarding policy and procedures to ensure that staff understand what to do in their organisation. Next, make safeguarding a standing agenda item at staff meetings. Also, have an area devoted to safeguarding on your website and include articles and newsletters for staff and parents. You can conduct regular supervision meetings and monitoring of staff to ensure that they're clear about their roles, responsibilities and boundaries, and also clear about the safeguarding procedures. Next, you can develop an ethos in which staff feel confident about discussing with the safeguarding lead any concerns about a child or young person or adult or a colleague's behaviour. Next, we can help children to understand what acceptable behaviour is, how they can stay safe from harm, and how to speak up if they have worries. Next, we can ensure staff understand what acceptable behaviour is and the types of behaviour that will make them vulnerable to allegations. Next, we can always report an allegation against a staff member, parent, or anyone else who has contact with children or vulnerable adults. And finally, we can ensure all staff, parents and children know who the designated safeguarding person is in the organisation and what their role is. Another thing we can do to help embed safeguarding in the organisation is to enable staff to fully understand the 6 principles of safeguarding. Now, these principles are set out in the Care Act 2014 and they're actually intended for adult safeguarding. However, they apply equally well to the safeguarding of children. The first principle is empowerment. People are supported and encouraged to make their own decisions and informed consent. And the evidence you would have of that would be the individuals that you support and serve are asked what they want as outcomes from the safeguarding process, and this informs what happens with them. Second principle is prevention, that it's better to take action before harm occurs. And the evidence you would have of that in your organisation is that the individuals you serve receive clear and simple information about what abuse is, how to recognise the signs of it, and how to seek help. Next principle is proportionality, that the least intrusive response appropriate to the risk presented should be made. And the evidence of this would be that staff work in the interest of the individual and only get involved when necessary. The next principle is protection, that support and representation is available for those in greatest need. And the evidence of embedding that you would have for that would be that the individuals get support to take part in the safeguarding process and also to report abuse and neglect. The fifth principle is partnership, that services offer local solutions through working closely with their communities. Communities have a part to play in preventing, detecting and reporting neglect and abuse. And the evidence of embedding that you would have for this would be that staff treat any personal and sensitive information in confidence and only share what is helpful and necessary to protect the individual. And the final principle of safeguarding is accountability, that there is accountability and transparency in everything that we do to deliver safeguarding. And the evidence of that would be that the individuals supported understand the role of everyone involved in their life. And the source for these principles is given at the bottom there, the Anne Craft Trust.